What's up, guys? I'm your host, Lucie, and this is Eventually It All Connects.
David Forrest. I'm glad to be here. Honestly, I feel like I'm an Oprah Winfrey or something.
So we met at Connect, our Bible study from church.
Shout out Jesus.
So I normally start with a question with the same question with everyone. And the question is, what is, that is not the question. I'm so sorry,
okay.
wait.
We shall find the question.
We shall find the question. This is what happens.
Oh, the question will find us.
It will. Is there a time in your life where you didn't know it then, but are now realizing that eventually it all connected to today? So is there a time before that you're like, wait, that connects to today?
Yeah, I guess maybe something that I would value greatly in a sense to, say that if it didn't happen, I wouldn't be here. Probably the journey of medicine and the like. I started reading my father's books when I was like really young. My dad happens to be a surgeon and the like, so he has like this collection of like textbooks of like anatomy of neurons, like of the brain and the like. So that sort of got me into the whole journey of becoming a doctor in a sense. That's one of the things that I do, or I'm learning at least, or aspiring to become. So he had this, what we call the Merck manual. And some days after school, post like, what usually is it do when as a grade 6 na nini nectar vibes. I don't know, I just didn't have enough. So I would go into like post schools sessions and like, I'll come back home, open up my manual and read about what the hell happens during puberty in like my dad's book. And I was like, because like at the time I was, what is this world that like you have to realize that coming into the world as a new being or as a child, like seeing that at that point, the changes that one experiences inhabiting the human body and all that jazz, taking on this human experience and growing in different ways, spiritually, physically, and all that jazz. I guess reading one of his books took me onto that journey, that stepping stone to where I find myself now, where I'm curious about consciousness or the human self, the human body, in terms of how physiology creates your experience, how life is in the sense, So and that's why I'm sort of aspiring to learn to be at the moment, I suppose. If that answers your question.
No, it does, because it's like growing up, I guess, in that sort of area, it's like, okay, if that didn't happen, then you would have not wanted to be do medicine.
Actually, at some point, I was like, you know what? I don't, because I dabble in music as well. So it didn't like at some point in high school where I discovered this ability of creating art and the like. I'm like, yo, is this like somewhere we could explore? A dream that's probably hidden behind the curtain, waiting for you to explore it. I had that mindset too, but figured that if I can get this degree first, if I can have that, base and the like, to then jump off eventually with a decent music career, then I'll definitely do that when the time comes. But focus is where focus should be. Learning and, getting the knowledge of how to help people in a sense. In medicine and the like. Yeah.
So today's topic is releasing things.
Definitely.
And just, I mean, release is the same as, obviously, the same as letting go. So it's just like letting go of whatever it is that you need to let go of. But yeah, so the first question is, what does release mean to you personally? Or what does it mean to you? It doesn't have to be personal, but what does it mean?
I think release means coming into balance in a sense. Um, I think of release more positively, or I, I think it's a good manner to think of release of. It's like breath or breathing. Um, Pondering on it, you must first understand what is the aspect of yourself that's asking or feels caged in a sense, letting go or holding on, um, perhaps for far too long in a way that's not healthy for oneself. What are the conditions? What do you mean in terms of emotional aspects of release or expression? You know, um, so personally, release, I base it more so on expression. Um, in in the sense that as I live this experience of meeting the people that I meet, loving the people that I do, the relationships and the like that I experience, and all that jazz, and the environment I surround myself in, I take in that and reproduce it in either a work of art or in a journal, in a sense where I become sort of the like the image that I see in life, and I see it for myself, or I hear it in a song, or I feel that. So release to me is um, eh, I express it, or I express creative energy mainly, because I feel like I'm more so a creative a being and the like. So, but then there's also the underside of it, or the understanding. There's expression, but there's also um, surrendering in a sense, releasing surrender and releasing control of, you know, even the need to control, the need to have things go in a certain way, or just have to happen in this manner. Who says there's so much that happens outside of your control, that holding on to um, the need to have everything fall into your, you know, mindset of the world or what it should be, releasing that control too is something that comes to me when I think of the word release, you know. um yeah, mainly it's all that expression and releasing control or releasing surrender. Life then becomes much more uh there's much more clarity in it, in a sense, and peaceful, honestly, because it's also an aspect of trusting God too, or the
Stressful.
definitely, come on,
No one wants to be stressful.
at all. And some confuse like the very nature of God in a sense, or like trusting the universe, whatever it is, that whatever term fits your bubble, okay, as long as it is in there, you know, you get it.
God. Anyways.
Yeah, in that sense, or trusting that you are here to learn. That's mainly in that sense, like releasing that control, or that way of a certain way that you expect life to show up for you in your mind, um, aids you to allow it to teach you, you know, allow you for it to show you what your, I wouldn't say purpose, because purpose is such a misconstrued word, but it's more so of the path that's open for you in a sense. You know, there's exactly, think about, isn't it odds that you experience, or rather not, in whatever sense you might choose to see it, that you live this certain story that nothing else in that regard is happening, as in I'm here in this moment speaking with you, in a sense, because it grows to some. I like to think that it grows to some uh, grander scheme or grander lesson, in a sense.
There's a bigger picture.
There's a bigger picture of things.
Yeah.
I like to be optimistic in that regard, instead of living on the underside of, it's all treacherous and I'm here to like, in a sense, who would you think that the universe appreciates more? The one who allows for it to teach, and you meet life without, as I said, the releasing aspect, as without the no, I want this to be that. And the funny thing is, when you get to that, it doesn't really matter. It's nothing. It's like cool. It's the chase. It's the chase that actually mattered the most sometimes. But of course, yeah, it really changes, or it depends on what we're speaking on. In regards of what is it that you're chasing, in the sense that you then find once you've attained it. It's quite
It's just normal. Just like I think it's more of like the excitement of getting there. It's like I'm gonna get there, and then you work so hard, and you get there. You're just like, and you're there, like that's it.
That's releasing of expectations.
Yeah, because I think it's. I mean, obviously, it's like in different sort of aspects of life. But I remember this one time of like, because I had never actually. Okay, let's go to the fact of. Okay, the first time I ever left Africa, basically, like traveled out of Africa, I was like, I went to Dubai, and I was just like, and then I was just like that excitement, like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna get there, and the whole journey, and I'm like, I'm going to a new place and experiencing new things, and so it's like the excitement of like getting there, and you're like, I just want to be there. And I remember my mom was even telling me like the entire plane ride there, I didn't eat because I just had no appetite. And I was like, yeah, you didn't eat because you're just so excited to go there. And then I got there, and it was, I mean, not saying Dubai is bad. Dubai was actually great. But then like you go there and you experience it, and then you come back, and then now like looking back at it again, it was great, but it's like I just left the country, like left the continent. I'm just like, oh, like there's actually it's that's it, like kind of like that's it, but not like in a bad way, because they don't seem like a bad way, but it's like
it's not like a climax of the story, and like it's really just part of it in that sense.
Yeah, but you know the thing I actually love about traveling, which is why I'm very into traveling, is that each time you go to a new country, the excitement is still there. So it's not like oh, because I've been out of Africa, like I just going out just doesn't excite me anymore. So I'm like, it still excites me to go to different places. That's why I'm like, I do not want to live in a place for a long time, because I want to experience new cultures and whatnot. So I was like, that excitement of just being like, hey, I'm getting to experience. Hi guys, I know what you're probably thinking, like, why is she interrupting my train of thought, the flow? I was just getting into the episode. Well, let me just tell you that I have to give a huge spotlight and shout out to the place that I'm recording at. I know last episode you're probably like, the interior looks different, the background looks different, and you probably even ignored it, trying to not think about it, thinking, it's just another creator podcaster thing. But no, this place has been so gracious and kind enough to let me record the episodes that I'm recording now and bringing out to you guys. So I just wanted to give them the credit they fully deserve and need. But yeah, so this is the reading room. TZ. Some places feel like a pause, a breath you didn't know you needed. Welcome to the reading room, where stories need stillness and faith finds room to grow. Here, every shelf is a gentle invitation, an invitation to learn, to rest, to rediscover hope through words that anchor your spirit. Whether you're searching for devotionals that steady your mornings, books that stretch your mind, or gifts that speak life, you'll find them here, curated with love and rooted in purpose. You find children's books that plant truth early and Bible study tools that deepen your walk and words that meet you exactly where you are. So step in, sit down, take a moment, and let your soul breathe again. Let your mind unclutter, let your spirit catch up to your pace. Here at the Reading Room TZ, that is located at CNG Plaza, opposite of Palm Village, Karibusana, and let's have a peaceful and quiet moment away from the noise with coffee and tea to relax the mind. Karibuni sana at the Reading Room TZ. Is how does holding on to the things we need to release affect our mental and emotional health?
I'm not even gonna like just straight to 9 times out of 10 holding on to the emotional or mental same thought blocks and the like, what you can call them, it doesn't aid us live or be open to life, you know. Of course, it's an aspect of yourself that wants to create its own story, or wants to create your own understanding, you know, of who you are or who you ought to be. Um, so if you have like a certain relationship with like a parental figure or like a relative and the like, um, where you expect that relationship to meet you in some way, um, due to previous mental and emotional experiences with that person, or I'm taking in terms of relationships because we're people, we're social beings. So these are qualities I suppose we should uh, pay attention to in that sense. Um, so we have, in a sense, mental and emotional ways where we've pre-programmed ourselves to come to another person or think about another person, that you don't really like see through the veil of who your judgment of another person, or the way that you expect yourself to meet uh, another being, and you meet them in a particular way, so you don't allow that relationship to expand or just like take on different forms that it sort of needs to or wants to take on, in a sense. Um, there's also emotional definitions of ourselves. You think of yourself as charismatic when the certain situation in life doesn't charismatic, or even I would say outgoing, or just some character trait that you'd want yourself to hold, or you find a sort of meaning in, because it emotionally resonates with you in some way. That once life presents you with a different or challenge, in a sense, or it challenges that, your whole sense of existence, it kind of tumbles or shakes in a sense, because you already have like this notion of, um, I used to have or experience bullying back in the day, really young and the like. So I've already, or I innately have created a character trait that, like, you're tough to the world or shelled up in a sense, you know, where you expect that one, or I should like hold myself with a guard up, you know, so, you know, hold myself with a shell, as I said. But then when life presents you the chance to be free in a safe space and the like, you don't take that opportunity, or one just like shows up in a sense. Expecting to meet someone or conversate with someone in a like they're open and willing to see you, but then you sort of already had that experience where, or one has already had that experience where they don't allow themselves to be seen in that state, you know. So that's the aspect of emotional baggage or mental I say experience that you just hold on to, that you don't let dissolve, fade, change. Change is the only constant that actually exists, you know. So if you hold on to certain aspects, you don't allow yourself to become the infinite being that you already are in an infinite universe, may I add, you know. So you can't really, it's a deep aspect too when we come to different emotions that we find, like grief, or you know, you expect, or someone you really loved had this great part in your life and they're not there anymore in a sense for life. It's part of the journey, and you know, so it's I'm out here allowing the relationships that I've found myself in, whether familial or friendly and the like even when it's lost, or when it fades, I say to myself, I'm glad that I got to experience that. Just embracing it all. Simply, that's I wouldn't say an easy way to live, but it's the allowing life to just simply be. You know, that's something that I think frees ourselves from ourselves, because we tend to trap ourselves in the emotional and mental notions that we create for ourselves. Really, that's all it is.
That's true.
It's illusion or delusion of um, of ego, you could say, but pretty much it's unreal. Fear is unreal. You see, it's if you get that, or I'd love to actually see what you think about it too, or the emotional or mental.
I would basically, because I'm still kind of working on it. Like, I'm not perfect at it, but I used to be a person that held grudges and held things very deeply and for a long period of time. Like
I'm not.
I'm like, bro, I will not forget this. You have to.
Take it to my grave. I'm telling you.
Literally, be like, for you to talk to me again, you have to wait minimum 3 months before I can actually say, okay, we have moved past on this. And so it's just one of those things where I've literally experienced how not releasing something affects your mental health, because like it just makes you more angry and more bitter and more like, you know, I don't know how to explain it, but it's like you feel like you're this like tough person, whatever, but like in a bad way, not just really tough in a good way. It's like I am like, you feel like being better than everyone else. It's like, okay, well, I'm just gonna hold this because like I understand this aspect and this person doesn't. Like sometimes you're like, how do they not get this? Or it's crazy, and it's just one of those things where even with those like circumstances, it's more of I get in like an argument with someone, and it's like you're like, dude, do you not understand?
Is it not connecting?
Is it not?
This is the point.
And then it just goes over, and then that's it. And you're like, and it's like, because again, something I'm working on is I'm not a very patient person. And so when you're trying to explain something to someone and they're not understanding it, I'm just like, get it. This is why I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, so why God is like, you should not be a teacher, because I would just be like, why aren't you getting it? It's so simple.
1 plus 1
It's 2.
like,
If you have one ball and you add another one, how many do you have altogether? Count.
Life, honestly, that's it. Breathing life. You come to find that man is okay with himself, but not his conditions. You know, if you think about the ways that everything's set up around you and what you wish it to be, it's really a repetition of the same point. Of you have to allow yourself or ask yourself, am I like, what do I want from, you know, this certain state? Like, why do I set everything at that high regard instead of just like, of course, there's growth, there's everything that needs to be done. But remember, you're a human being, not a human doer, man. You're here to like just vibe, man. That's like, this is the most Gen Z way I can put like the questions that have plagued philosophers of every single civilization, Socrates and Nietzsche. What's the meaning of existence? Just vibe. Just like chill. Like, just,
Makes sense.
you know.
But I've even going on with like that, and even now, like after experiencing even like, let's say, God and whatnot, I was like, okay, I realized that, because I think it's also because I have someone to release it to, because you know, like when you don't really have like for instance, like God, that you can like say, okay, let me release this and put all my trust in him, like it's easier to keep it to yourself because you can't release this anywhere else. But I think now it's much easier for me to release things, because I find myself like I still get irritated and mad, but it's like, but then like I find myself after something that would take me a whole month to get over, after like a week I'm like, I'm actually at peace with this. Like I'm actually chilling. Like what? It's literally not that big. And so I'm just like, wait, but then that's because after a situation, I normally pray about it. I'm just like, okay, God, you know the situation, you know my feelings about it, you know this person, do what you have to do. I am not going to stress myself over this anymore. And so I've like learned to release it quicker, like even on the like street when I'm driving with the cars and whatnot, like you find yourself getting road rage is bad. My road rage is
no. In Dar, you will be taught how to be humble. I promise you. Humility is a quality trait you need to have driving in the streets. I'm just saying.
Also, I'm like, I have to say this because like I have to put it out there, because I was low-key pissed, and I had a friend. I was with someone in the car, and if you asked them about it, they were like laughing. So this time where I was like going on the road, and I was behind, I was like getting out of like the Tenesco shortcut, and I was like heading on the road, and there's a person in front of me, and obviously I'm also like looking, because I'm like, okay, like looking to see like when they can go and whatnot, and I'm like, you know, this person knows how to drive, like I don't have to look, and they'll go when they're supposed to go. And so I literally, okay, so there's like two cars, like a car coming, and it's indicated, so like stopped and then indicated that it's going in the road. I'm like, okay, cool, like this person's like, not even just one car, two cars. I'm like, this is a perfect time for the person to go, because the car obviously behind that would have stopped, so it's like, it's not like they're going fast. And I look on the other side, I'm like, the other side, it's completely open. This person just stays there, and I'm just like,
okay,
are they good?
The battery, like, okay, like what's going on?
Yeah, and then I was just like, okay, like, you know, kind of you give them grace, like you're like, you know, it's fine, they'll go the next time.
To the fact.
Tell me why another time, literally 2 cars again, indicating coming this side. No, I was just like, the person stays there for a bit, and then I think they realize like, oh, and then they go, and I'm just like, oh.
Bro, I will literally. Boy, I doesn't go out.
I was actually yelling in the car. I was like, what is wrong? So to kind of wrap this up, because we need to, time is going, and we could again talk about this for hours. But so, because again, all of these things that we talk about like the way the name of the podcast, eventually it all connects. So it all connects back to God. And so I have Bible verses as I normally have, if you've seen any of my episodes. And so the first one that I have is from Psalm 55:22. Huh?
Shout out King David. I'm just
We love him and his poems and his yeah. So it says, "Cast your burden onto the Lord, and He will sustain you. He will never permit the righteous to be moved." And I think that also helps with releasing, because it's like, hey, whatever burdens, whatever grudges you hold, just release it to Him, because He will keep you, like, He is peace, so He will give you the peace that you need from whatever situation that you're going from. But yeah, and then the other one, which is kind of short, but I'm like, it's short but sweet. It's John 8:36, and it says, "So if the Son sets you free, you are free indeed." Like, it's just like, it's so powerful. It's so short but like powerful. Son sets you free, you are free. It's that simple. So I'm like, it's even relates back to the whole release, because like, if you are in Christ, you are free. If you've saved, you're free. And so you're even free from all of the bitterness or all of the grudges that you hold, and all of literally whatever you're holding, you are free from that, because He paid the price on the cross, and He is the one that set you free. So I'm like, that's one verse that I'm like, because I was even looking it up, just like, that's short, but it's so powerful.
so incredible.
And I'm like, wow.
When we're coming back to Christ too, who I understand to be the spirit of unconditional love. Unasema kwamba hata nikitoweka hizi frika zitabaki. You know? Meaning that His existence in life, whether you believe in Him or not, the essence of unconditional love exists through Him. If you really think about or deep being of omnipotence dying for you, like, that to me is the most like beautiful thing. It's like a big old giant going to an ant, and it says, I care for you so much that for you to cross this river, like, I'm willing to act as the bridge in that sense. And that to me is who Christ is, in a sense, or Christ consciousness. The aspect of ourselves that knows that unconditional love is, it's an innate part of us, like naturally, so as spirits and the like. But we don't exactly create the environment for it to be expressed in that sense, which really is, I like to think, is the goal when we say God's kingdom is to come, is to be created here by embodying that essence of unconditional love. But not many of us would have the courage to, all of us have the courage to love, but then to actually like let go of the systems that were established, to then follow that path of true togetherness, where we're not afraid of being vulnerable, or not. That's like literally utopia, that we should be working towards, or what, if we were to care enough to work towards what it ought to be. It wouldn't be about creating buildings. It would be about creating community, about where knowledge and wisdom like this, how God meets us. He who spoke to Matthew speaks to Joe, Lucie right now still. God is timeless. God is ever powerful. Everything, literally. Consciousness, you could say, highest form of it. Yeah, I love those verses actually.
Yeah, they're really
not biased or anything.
But yeah. Anyways, I hope you all have learned a lot about release and letting go of things, and that you've actually are going to take it in, the advice or the words that you are listening to. But yeah, so this is the end of the podcast, the episode. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much. To really embrace it all. Embrace like the madness of it. Embrace the pleasures and the joys that we find.
I want to know.
The love that we share in that sense.
But yeah. Anyways, thank you guys so much for listening and for watching, and don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to my channel, and we'll see you guys. We'll see you guys in the next episodes. Bye.